He vanished after I cheated and I'm losing my mind. Everyone says I deserve this HL. Hello everyone. Dear listeners, please share your thoughts in the comments section below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Now let's begin the video. Using a throwaway for obvious reasons with certain specifics modified to preserve anonymity. I lost my mind after I cheated, and then he disappeared without a trace. Everyone keeps telling me I brought this on myself, but I can't shake the feeling that I'm losing it. I need to tell someone my story. Maybe writing it down will help me make sense of this chaos that's become my life. I'm 26, working as an interior designer in Copenhagen, and life looked perfect from the outside. I had a great job at a prestigious firm, a gorgeous apartment in Oslo, and a boyfriend named Ethan who I can't even describe the way I do now. For 3 years, Ethan was my anchor. He was 29, an IT security expert, kind of guy who always remembered our anniversaries and brought me flowers just because it was Tuesday. He was stable, dependable, the safe choice. Everyone told me I was lucky to have him, but honestly I started to get bored. Yeah, I'll admit it, I got fucking bored. He was too perfect, too predictable. Every Friday was date night, every Sunday we hit the farmer's market and then brunch. It was good, but also monotonous. Ethan had booked vacations a half year in advance, and I could picture myself in 5, 10, 20 years of this routine, and it terrified me. Then everything changed when Lucas walked into my life. He was the husband of a client, a doctor at Riggs Hospital, and we met during a consultation to redesign their home office. Married, 2 kids, completely off limits, and yet that's what made him so tempting. I knew I shouldn't have been flirting, but I was craving something different. Innocent at first, just coffee to talk about design ideas, then meals to review the materials. He was spontaneous, risky, everything Ethan wasn't. That first kiss happened in my car after a site visit. I didn't stop him. Over 4 months, I led a double life. I told Ethan I had client dinners when I was in hotel rooms. I even used my grandmother's funeral as an excuse for a weekend away. I posted sweet photos with Ethan on Instagram while Lucas was in the bathroom living 2 separate lives. The guilt crushed me, yet the thrill was addictive. I felt alive again for the first time in years. Every message from Lucas was an adrenaline hit. Every lie to Ethan proved I wasn't the boring person who'd settle for safety. But eventually, my conscience caught up with me. Or maybe I just wanted the drama of confessing everything. Either way, 2 weeks ago, I sat across from my best friend Melanie at our favorite cafe near Norraport. It was a Sunday morning, tourists everywhere, perfect weather, and I'd practiced my speech all night. I planned to cry, maybe Ethan would yell and throw something, and then we'd work through it or break up dramatically. Either way, I craved that thrill. I started, "Ethan, I need to tell you something. I've been seeing someone else." I launched into my confession about how it just happened, how I never meant to hurt him, how Lucas was nothing and Ethan was my real true love. I threw in some tears to make it convincing. He listened quietly, sipping his espresso. His face was blank, not angry, not sad, just completely empty. When I finished, I asked, "Ethan, aren't you going to say something?" He looked at me, really looked at me, and for the first time in 3 years I didn't recognize the man staring back. His eyes were cold, dead even. "No," he said, then turned and walked away. I sat there for 20 minutes, hoping he'd come back, waiting for the scene to unfold as I'd imagined. But he never did. When I got home, he was gone, really gone, all traces of him erased. His clothes, the gaming setup, coffee maker, even his toothbrush moved out or thrown away. The apartment looked like he'd never even lived there. His key was on the counter along with a note, "Bills paid through this month. After that, it's your problem." That's when the panic set in. I called him, no answer. Tried texting, messages wouldn't deliver. Sent emails, full inbox error. Looked for him on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, all blocked or deleted. It was like he'd vanished from the entire digital world. I went to his office, no sign of him. His gym membership was canceled last week. I even went to his parents' house, but his father shut the door in my face. His brother Jonas blocked me. After I called 50 times, no one would tell me what was going on, and our mutual friend stopped responding too. The first week I was mad. How dare he ghost me like this? I kept thinking I made a mistake. But then confusion kicked in. Ethan wasn't the type to leave things hanging. He would talk or process feelings. That silence wasn't him. By the second week, I started feeling afraid. The apartment felt different, like someone was watching me. Shadows flickered in my peripheral vision, objects seemed moved, and I started sleeping with the lights on. Then came the emails. My parents in Aalborg received a package, screenshots of my conversations with Lucas, not just about sex, but the cruel things I'd said about them. Mocking my mom's cooking, calling my dad provincial, things I had said to impress Lucas but now destroyed my family relations. They haven't spoken to me since. Next, my work was targeted. An anonymous tip accused me of expense fraud, faked client dinners, hotel charges, all documented with timestamps and receipts. The investigation was fast. After 4 years at the firm, I was gone. They considered criminal charges. Lucas abandoned me the moment his wife got a package with proof of my affair, photos, hotel invoices, timestamps. He blocked me everywhere and transferred to a hospital in Jutland, leaving me to deal with this alone. Meanwhile, my sister Maja was getting married. I was in the wedding party, pretending everything was fine. But during the father-daughter dance, a courier arrived with a package containing proof I'd slept with her ex, someone who broke her heart and whose family blames for her depression. The footage was from hidden cameras in my apartment. I didn't even know such cameras existed. The wedding turned into my public shame. Over 300 guests watched my father disown me, the whole family turning their backs in a traditional Danish shunning ritual. I had to hitchhike back to Copenhagen in my bridesmaid dress. My life felt like a slow, systematic destruction. Every time I thought I'd hit rock bottom, something else blew up. My bank accounts were drained of joint savings, legally apparently. My job prospects disappeared, canceled interviews after mysterious concerns. Friends received messages about things I said behind their backs. And the worst part, I can't prove Mikul is behind any of this. The emails come from anonymous accounts, the packages are untraceable, and when I look for cameras, they're gone. It's all too precise, too perfectly timed, like he's orchestrating everything. He's definitely an IT security whiz. Right now, I'm living in a shared apartment in Norebro, working part-time at a furniture outlet, selling particle board to people I used to mock. My family won't speak to me, Lucas ignores my existence, and my career is shattered. I started a blog about betrayal and manipulation. But of course, the comments turned brutal once people read my story. I had to shut it down in 2 weeks. And I want to tell you my worst fear, he's still not done. I can feel it like some grand, perfect plan to tear me apart completely. This entire ordeal is too controlled, too calculated. Somewhere I believe Ethan is watching me suffer, waiting for the next move. I've lost 15 pounds. I can't sleep. I jump at every notification. I even started therapy, but I can't afford to keep going. My friends say I'm paranoid, that I'm overanalyzing everything. That's just karma, they say, but karma doesn't have IP addresses. Karma doesn't know exactly when to hit hardest. Karma doesn't turn a safe, predictable man into a ghost who wrecks lives from the shadows. I messed up big time. I betrayed someone who loved me because I was bored. But what's worse? This deliberate destruction of my entire life, it's beyond punishment, it's psychological torture. And honestly, part of me is kind of impressed. Ethan, the guy I dated, couldn't even plan a surprise party. This new version of him, that ghost, seems to be playing chess while I bleed on the board. I don't know what comes next. I don't know how much more he has planned or if I'll even keep my job next week. I live in constant dread of the next revelation, the next perfectly timed disaster. If you're reading this, Mikul, and I know you are, you're probably tracking every word I type. You win. You've won. I'm sorry, so fucking sorry. I was selfish, cruel, and I threw everything away for fleeting thrills. But I'm begging, when does it end? When do you decide I've suffered enough? Or is this my life now? Forever waiting for the next blow, always in suspense, wondering if that anonymous email or unmarked package is from you. I thought I wanted excitement, but it turns out I was living in a thriller all along. I just didn't realize until it became a Horror story. And now I'm the monster who created her own nightmare. Update 1 2 weeks later. Holy shit, the responses. Half say I deserve this, the other half call me dramatic. Let me give you a quick update on my current life. First, a few clarifications. Yes, I'm a terrible person, I get it. Knowing doesn't fix anything. I can't exactly go to the police because my ex is spreading the truth, unfairly bullying me. I've thought about leaving Copenhagen, but with what money? And where would I go? Now about my job. Remember I was working at a furniture outlet. I lost that too. A customer recognized me from my old firm and made a scene, refusing to have someone who committed fraud help them. The manager fired me on the spot, saying it was bad for business. It's just one more hit, but honestly, I've been trying to rebuild my life, applying for jobs, reaching out to old contacts, even thinking about moving back home with my parents if they'd take me. Then out of nowhere, I get a text from an unknown number. Check your Instagram. I made a new private account under a fake name, posted a single photo, a sunrise, something hopeful, the caption, "New beginnings." I had about 12 followers, strangers, and then the comments flooded in. Screenshots of my old conversations with Lucas, details about the wedding, my real name, my entire history exposed. How did he find it? I deleted everything, threw my phone against the wall, cried until I vomited, then realized he's inside my devices, watching everything I do. Fetid digital footprint. I bought a new prepaid phone, first time online month without feeling like I'm being watched, and within 3 days another message. Nice try. I'm losing my mind, I can't trust any device anymore. I tried to confront Jonas, his brother. Waited outside his office for 6 hours. When he finally came out, I begged him to talk to Mikul and make all of this stop. He looked at me with disgust. "You destroyed my brother," he said. "The kind man who loved you. Whatever's happening now, you earned it." "This is insanity," I screamed. "This is stalking. This is consequences." He cut me off. "Ethan's in Stockholm now, building a new life, probably watching me suffer. My therapist suggested I might be experiencing paranoid delusions, that maybe all this timing was just coincidence, that guilt. Messing with my mind." But even she got an email during one session. Her phone pinged, her expression changed, and suddenly she said she couldn't take new patients anymore. Even my therapist abandoned me. Started having panic attacks, can't go to hospitals. The last time I tried to medicate, I took too many pills, not enough to die, just enough to sleep through nightmares, through the images of Mikul's cold eyes and the next disaster. Woke up in the hospital, my roommate had found me, stomach pumped, psychiatric evaluation complete. The thing I kept thinking in that hospital bed, he's probably watching this too. Probably has my medical records, plotting how to weaponize them. I'm just existing now, caught between his moves, waiting for the next damage. The next person to turn away, the next secret to expose. The Mikul I knew, the predictable, safe one, he's gone. The one I created with all his discipline and control, he's not that person anymore. And I've come to realize I never really knew him at all. A month later, I'm writing this from a psychiatric facility. Voluntary admission, though. Let's be honest, when you have nowhere else to go, it's mostly involuntary. My failed attempt at self-harm changed everything. My mother finally broke her silence and visited. She cried at my bedside, hugging me tight, saying she couldn't lose a daughter, even one who's disappointed her so deeply. It's a small mercy. The Wi-Fi here is terrible, limits on phone time, but for once I'm not obsessively waiting for the next disaster. Group therapy feels pointless. Everyone shares trauma while I sit there thinking, I caused mine. But individual sessions help. Dr. Anderson, my only therapist willing to see me, doesn't judge. She asks questions that cut deep. Why did you need Mikul to be weak? What were you running from? Do you think you wanted to be caught? That last one haunts me. Maybe I did. I had a breakthrough yesterday. I realized that I called Ethan predictable because I was afraid of losing control, but really I was terrified of facing myself. I thought I wanted someone to stop me, to care enough to fight. Instead, I got someone who let me burn. During our session, I realized I'd been wrong about Ethan. He wasn't just predictable, he was controlled, disciplined, and that's what kept him standing while I fell apart. There's a stark difference. He, though he was the true master of this game. The cameras, the calculated releases, the destruction, it wasn't revenge. It was about showing who I really am, no lies, no deception, just evidence of my own choices. I played myself and he made sure everyone saw the game I was running. When Dr. Anderson asked what I'd say to Mikul if I could, I thought about it. I laughed, then cried, then finally admitted that I'm sorry feels hollow. I didn't mean it. You were right to leave. I'm sorry I made you become someone capable of this. That's the real tragedy. I didn't just betray a good man, I turned him into this monster. That's on me. They're releasing me next week. I've got a night shift cleaning job, stuff nobody wants. It's honest, invisible work, perfect for someone who wants to disappear. I found a tiny room to rent, shared bathroom, but it's mine. No social media, no dating apps, no trying to rebuild the old version of myself. Maybe that's freedom. When you've lost everything, you can't lose more. If you're still watching, Mikul, and I know you are, you can stop now. There's nothing left to destroy. I'm not the woman I was when I betrayed you. I'm barely a person. You've won in a way completely, thoroughly. I hope the man you've become was worth it. 3 months later, I'm writing this final update. It's not because anything dramatic happened, quite the opposite. Life has slowed down, small, quiet, manageable. I work from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m., cleaning offices downtown, mindless, meditative work, making order from chaos. The metaphor isn't lost on me. I sit in empty buildings, satisfied just knowing I've done something real. I started reading philosophy during breaks, trying to understand how I became someone capable of this casual cruelty. Kierkegaard said, "Anxiety is the dizziness of freedom," and I gave myself too much freedom and fell off the edge. I saved enough for a second-hand laptop, cash only, and finally went online without feeling watched. Maybe he's gone. Maybe he never cared enough to follow through. Maybe I just bored him like I claimed he bored me. My sister Maja reached out, not for forgiveness, but because she's pregnant and wants me to know. She said I'll be an aunt and maybe, if I keep working on myself, I'll meet the baby someday. That hope, that tiny flicker, felt so good I almost cried. Last week I went to Ingrid's boutique, Mikul's wife, not to cause trouble, just to say I was sorry for existing in her life. She nodded and asked me to leave. Fair enough. But the strangest thing, I swear I saw him walking down the street after my shift, exhausted, probably hallucinating, but maybe not. Outside Georg Jensen with a tall blonde woman laughing. They looked happy, like a normal couple planning their future. I froze, expected to feel rage or jealousy or bitterness, but instead I felt nothing. Maybe relief. He's moved on, built something new, learned to laugh again. I almost went over, almost said something, but in the end I just turned around. Made coffee in my tiny shared kitchen, sat on my little bed, and finally felt something I haven't in months, peace. Not happiness or forgiveness, just acceptance that this is my life now. The one I earned. The one I'm starting from scratch. Sometimes I dream about Mikul, not the old dreams where he takes me back, nor the nightmares where he destroys everything. It's just passing him on the street, nodding. Two strangers who once set each other's world on fire. I know some of you want a more dramatic ending. You want me broken forever. Or fully redeemed. But life doesn't work that way. We just keep carrying our mistakes, trying to be a little better each day. My name is Sigma. I'm 27, a cleaning lady who waters her plants daily and pays her bills on time. I go to therapy. I don't date. I cherish every boring, predictable day. I've learned what excitement costs. Sometimes I think about reaching out to Mikul, thanking him for the envelope, telling him about my progress, but I don't. That would be selfish. He's building his life with Ingrid and I'm building mine alone. Those paths don't cross anymore, and that's okay. That's what consequences look like when you finally face them instead of running. To everyone who called me dramatic, delusional, or deserving, you're right. To everyone who said this was fake, I wish it was. And to anyone thinking of cheating, please don't. Not because of karma or consequences, but because you'll destroy your soul and some damage is irreversible. This really is my goodbye. Sigma signing off, living quietly, appreciating boring days, grateful for stability now. Thanks for witnessing my fall and my rise again. May your lives be filled with trustworthy people, simple joys, and the kind of peace that only comes from honest living.